Greetings, subs of the interweb, I'm Parax11, reviewer of the good, the bad, and the underrated. Only took me 2 seasons, but I'm finally a pony. Changing species is kinda hard, but Twist of Fate finally helped me break the rules of nature. Plus, Blue Prism helped me set up this cool room. Just don't ask about that Fluttershy picture in the corner. Please don't. Anywho, about time I got to reviewing Season 8. I know I haven't finished Season 7, but frankly, I didn't have much to say on most of the episodes in its latter half, and I think it's best I at least start Season 8 before 9 comes out. Maybe I'll go back and review some of them when I have the time, but for now, I think it's best to move forward. In the wake of the movie, which I should also probably review sometime, many fans were questioning if it would impact the show, and I was definitely one of the ones hoping it would. So I was glad it did affect the show, albeit slightly indirectly, by leading Twilight to set up her own friendship school. I was also excited by the writer, Nicole DeBuck, since she not only wrote Shadowplay, which I thought was a pretty great finale, but also has experience writing some of my favourite animated shows in recent years, like Young Justice, Transformers Prime, and Star Wars Rebels. Would this new step for the show be a clever move, or not well informed? Let's find out as we take a look at School Daze. This episode starts with the map having grown and our heroines recapping the movie.
The pirates! They were pretty awesome! Once they decided not to throw us overboard. And Mount Eris!
Where Twilight betrayed the Hippocampi's trust and almost ruined everything. Ah, good times.
How many friendship quests do you think we need to go on before we have to expand the throne room?
Good question. How much would it cost and how would the castle react? Of course, Twilight realizes missions all over Equestria and beyond would be difficult, so decides to open a school for friendship. Indoctrinate all the lesser races. Nah, it's a nice idea for them to spread their message to as many creatures as possible. Plus, the other creatures choose to send their kids there, so it's not like they're forcing equestrian ideals on them.
What time should school start each day?
It really
What's the ideal length for class? Do you test regularly?
Oh, well, that's
What about class projects?
that's a very
Assigned seating, open seating.
Do not interrupt! Do not interrupt! Do not interrupt!
Luckily, Celestia's there to provide advice and recommend another source when she gets tired of Twilight's crap.
The EEA guidebook is very specific about how to run a school.
The EEA?
Hopefully that book's chapters aren't locked behind loot boxes. Actually, they oversee all the schools in Equestria, including the princesses.
Not even a princess can do whatever she likes when it comes to shaping young pony minds.
Good that they keep even Celestia in check, considering what happened with her sister. Although all schools being held to the same standards sounds good, but such rigid guidelines often hinder education more than it helps, as seen later.
Looks like we have a presentation to make.
After everything we've been through, how hard can that be? I'm gonna go with really hard.
Fate is so easily tempted.
I am Chancellor Naysay. Equestria owes you a great debt.
But let's make sure this doesn't go on too long. Pinky and I are planning to take over the world tonight. Man, is it awesome they got Maurice LaMarche, even if his character is a bit of a jerk. Okay, very a jerk.
Can we trust you to follow through with this plan? Will you leave the school unattended to gallop off on your adventures?
Oh no, she goes off to save the world. Plus she has 6 friends that would be fairly capable in her place. Twilight then mentions the threats outside Equestria and seems to get misunderstood.
A school for ponies to learn how to protect themselves. Every pony should be prepared to defend our way of life.
Sounds dangerously close to indoctrination and conscription to me. She gets approved as we see our new playset.
It's too much.
Too right, how much pocket money do kids get these days? It turns out the ponies are feeling nervous about teaching. Fair enough, considering teaching friends or individuals is hard compared to kids. Little monsters.
We have a huge responsibility, and I need you all to do this by the book. That means no cannons in class, Pinky. Aww, not even a teeny cannon.
That would be useful for shipping class. It then turns out not just ponies are coming to the school. I'll give my overall thoughts on the Student 6 in later episodes since I do legitimately like them, but my first impressions were basically...
Whoa, sorry. I'm Sandbar. Are you a student here too?
Oh man, back to Vincent Tong voicing characters that are boringly irritating or irritatingly boring. At least he got to voice one good character in his run on the show.
Rainbow Dash, right? Gilda told me about you. You're a teacher? Thought you'd be cooler.
Wow, you are trying so hard. It's kind of working.
Yeah, can't wait to meet ponies and tell all about Yakistan.
Finally! A yak I don't hate! An adorable one at that.
Why am I here?
Because, as Dragon Lord, I'm ordering you to be here.
A genuine cool character, and damn is her confidence infectious. On a side, I ship it.
Ocellus! What did we talk about? I told you, stay in your own form. It's the polite thing to do. Sorry, she's shy.
Best student.
No way! I didn't know ponies could turn into... what are you?
A changeling.
Ponies can turn into changelings?
I mean, she's okay, but gets a bit much. Feels like a discount Skystar, or just discount Star. They do kind of acknowledge that, considering she's Skystar's cousin. Once all the students get there, we get a musical number which is... It's effective how it goes from quick to more downbeat as school drags on and everyone's enthusiasm fades. Kinda like real school, but the lyrics all throughout are boring. A+ lyrics. If the words were more interesting before the switch, then it might have worked, but all throughout it had me tapping my fingers, hooves, waiting for it to get over with so the plot can continue, and the students agree.
Is this what boring is? Am I bored?
These ponies saved all of us from the Storm King.
How? By boring him into surrender?
No, by murdering him. So maybe don't call them boring, kid. Smolder then shows that speciesism isn't exclusive to ponies.
No wings, no fire. What is it exactly you're proud of?
Oh, cool it. No need to harsh Yona's love for her heritage, okay?
Aw, are we not being sweet and friendly enough for you, pony?
Hooray for casual racism. Maybe they need a class on basic human, creature decency. Luckily, the teachers break it up.
Things definitely aren't going as by the book as Twilight planned.
Really? Because this seems like a very by-the-book school to me. Have I made my disdain for the British education system clear yet? Naturally, they take their problem to Twilight, who doesn't seem right.
I get it. Things are getting off to a rougher start than expected. But that's okay.
Alright, who are you and what have you done with Twilight Sparkle? Exactly! I think Spike's my spirit animal. We seem on the same page so often.
The EEA will be here this afternoon for Friends and Family Day. They need to see a school that follows their guidelines. Even if those guidelines aren't working?
Thank you!
Friends and Family Day comes, and since this is the worst time for it, the students are playing hooky.
Professor Fluttershy! We're busted! A generosity field trip, darling. I'm taking the students to the lake to look at our divine reflections.
Ocellus, you're overacting a bit. Wait, that makes her a perfect rarity.
They'll have these problems turned around before we know it.
Problems?
Wow, you couldn't come in at the entrance, Chancellor eavesdrop. The student six then have a cute moment of bonding. It's a nice moment to effectively establish their friendships and builds tension with how the story intercuts it with Twilight and Starlight showing Naysa around, with their stress and the school's problems gradually becoming more obvious, ironically with the students learning friendship better outside the oppressive and dull classrooms.
Because my students are gone? Gone? Somewhere else! Doing a loyalty lesson.
And I thought AJ was a bad liar. Maybe that's just a trait among Ashley Ball's characters. However, once they go outside, things go from bad to much, much worse.
The school is under attack!
Which would fail given it's a gawky creature with no subtlety. But we see that wasn't all of Naysay's concern.
Those are students? But you said you were opening this school to protect Equestria, to defend ponies from dangerous creatures.
Interesting for the show to finally acknowledge the apparent superiority of Equestria compared to other civilizations in text rather than just subtext. It's somewhat justifiable given their relationship with the dragons and changelings had been hostile in the past, though Naysay takes it to an extreme since the griffins aren't a threat, nor could they be given their kingdoms in ruins last we saw, and the yaks and hippogriffs are allies of Equestria. His paranoia has led him to throw logic out the window for nationalism. It's further showing how old, respected organizations can be susceptible to arrogance as well as inflexible rules.
It's fine. We know not every pony sees us the way you do. We're used to it.
Ouch. Twilight's ultimatum of Celestia helping her fails when Naysay throws the book at her.
Your school is a disaster. Perhaps if you had higher standards for who was admitted, This could have been avoided.
If only you held yourself to high standards as well. Oh, but I'm sure a respectable pony like you doesn't need to. Sadly, he'll need to learn those standards somewhere else, as part 1 ends with him shutting the school down. At least there are no more annoying kids to deal with. Part 2 starts with Twilight going through a depression almost as bad as mine after watching Infinity War, just with more pillows and much less beer.
Sure, the EEA closed your friendship school, but now you've got time to do other stuff. It's like being on vacation.
A failure vacation.
Failcation? Better than no holiday. All her friends come in because loud noises and lots of people is the cure for a funk.
Whenever I'm sad, a hug from Angel Bunny always makes me feel better.
Angel always makes me feel annoyed, but at least now Angel's sad as well. Also, do stuff that cheers Twilight up, not you.
You didn't tell me this was a pity party! I want a bread ice cream!
Yikes, element of savagery. Luckily, Starlight's there to prove that a former crazy communist cultist is a good choice for a guidance counselor.
Why should you let some pony else stop you from doing your job? But the EEA rulebook doesn't matter.
Screw the rules and get unaccredited again. It is still a good message that Twilight's new ideas shouldn't be constrained by old rules, but...
Why we're doing this is way more important than how we're doing this.
Oh god, the horrible things that could lead to. Let's see, least horrible thing. Tell that to Philip Segal failing where Russell T Davies succeeded due to how they both tried to bring back Doctor Who. Yeah, that'll do. At least there's a cute hug to balance out the potentially horrible implications. However, Twilight's friends say the school's a bad idea because that won't get her back into her sulk. At least they're eventually brought around by Twilight saying they've tossed out the book.
Just 2 small problems. The school is still unaccredited. And we don't have any students.
I'll take care of the first part, if you 5 can round up our class.
I guess travelling all over Equestria is easier than it sounds. Their train system must be incredible. However, they hit another roadblock since going to the Student 6 as guardians, it turns out they didn't go home.
It's our pony's fault!
You're pretty quick to blame them. What are you hiding, yak?
Can we just focus on finding our lost students?
Nice try!
Congratulations, Naysay, your racism has caused diplomatic relations with 6 powerful kingdoms to break down. Oh, but at least the threat has been eliminated. Mission accomplished. Though saying that, all of the leaders are quick to blame each other when the students could have just gone off themselves. Fair enough, since they're likely still angry from Naysay's dickery. Also, I'm so glad the throne room from the movie was kept. Even in the show style, it looks amazing.
Maybe they were attacked by a ferocious shrimp! No pony ever expects that!
Or if it was unexpected, maybe it was the Spanish Inquisition.
Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition!
However, then Sandbog comes in, gives a suspicious grin, and a large order of cakes.
Are you having a party?
No, I'm just, really hungry.
Pinky of all ponies should have seen that.
Suspicious!
And couldn't the students have just sent us Celis in a disguise? At least they do figure it out quickly. 30 seconds slower than they should have, but still. It turns out they're hanging out at the castle of the 2 sisters.
Yona not really like school, but Yona like new friends.
The smolder like breathing.
Yona's second best student.
You guys!
I just found
Stairs!
I guess she is a fish out of water, but it turns out all the food and noise has attracted a really terrible Sonic OC.
It's a Pukwudgie.
What she said. And it also turns out they're slightly aggressive.
Did Professor Fluttershy say anything about how to beat Pukwudgies in her lecture?
The shy animal lover probably wouldn't teach that. Though personally, I think fire would work.
Yona not scared. Yona have friends.
Of course! Friends make excellent meat shields! Although the way to defeat them is actually call someone whose speed means that she can't get bricked. Or magic.
Just ask them to leave nicely.
Sweet Celestia, if Fluttershy can't calm them down, they must be beyond all hope.
Did you see that? Rainbow Dash was like, boom, and then whoa, the Pukwudgies went flying, and then the birds came.
Stop it. Get some help.
Yeah, we all just lived it.
Thank you, Smolder. Maybe I should have taken the form of a dragon. I seem to relate to them a lot. Twilight then asks them to come back to the school.
Not much of a choice.
It's either that or Battle of the 6 Armies. Luckily, they all calm down once it turns out they're safe, but there's still the problem of Chancellor Plot had.
The EEA has spoken, and none shall pass. Go back back to the shadow. This is for the greater good.
Ugh, even the Sanford Neighborhood Watch Alliance are less stupid than this bozo.
Shut it! Those dangerous and unpredictable students put ponies' lives in danger.
Hell, I'll show you unpredictable.
Proving the bigot right. Brilliant strategy, Amber. Luckily, Twilight logics the hell out of the problem by writing her own book with less bollocks rules. The moral of different forms of teaching for different schools and students is a great one, especially considering how rigid education systems can be, which often leads to students failing simply because they can't fit in a mold. Also, if logic doesn't work, try nepotism.
I promise you, Chancellor, my school will help protect Equestria.
Or destroy it.
Oh yeah, diplomacy's never protected a nation. Hostility and fear are the ways forward. We then get another song and, yet again, it's fine, but too long and pretty humdrum. Just, yay, friendship's great, the school is great, Bunny is great.
My plan is great.
Aw, fine! If you promise to stop singing, Smolder can stay!
The dragons really do get me. And so the episode ends with the Guardians giving their blessing for the Student 6 to stay, Gallus looking surprisingly cute, and Twilight acknowledging that Starlight is a great counsellor. I mean, she does know a thing or two about unstable personalities. So that was School Daze, a pretty good start to the season. The setup for the School of Friendship, while a little questionable, was still well done, and I like how the writers acknowledged the characters were underqualified to teach, even though their self-doubt didn't help matters. Naysay's bigotry felt a little unreasonable, but find me a reasonable bigot, and it did sort of make sense, while still making him a despicable character, highlighted by how the Student 6 are all very likeable. A little flat right now, but well set up for the fleshing out most of them would get later. However, the story can feel a bit slow. It's kind of the point to setting the boredom felt by everyone at school drags on, but the plot throughout both episodes does lack momentum. It's kind of neat since it didn't need the looming threat of a lot of other two-parters and it was nice to just spend time with likeable characters, but regardless it did feel a bit slow. Minus the beginning of part 2 where Twilight got out of her sulk very quickly, even if her and Starlight's talk was nice. Outside of that and a few little moments or lines that felt a bit wonky, it was a decent premiere with another interesting little shift in the show's status quo that, kinda like school, led to some stressful moments, but also fun times. I'm Parix11, thank you for watching.